So I'm trying to do this thing, but I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't know if it's working. All right, so our crystal of the week is spessartine garnet. I don't happen to have a specimen of that. I do have a lot of garnets. However, I don't have this particular kind. And anyway, it talks about putting on the charm and beauty. And I really like that, especially for the goddess card that was chosen for the week. But spessartine garnet, the first thing that came to my mind was grounding. Garnet is very grounding. And it is the January birthstone, whereas ruby is the July birthstone. I believe that's correct, but it's close enough. Spessartine garnet is more of an orangey, sometimes yellow, but never that bright, deep red that we normally see with a garnet. And it talks about charm and charisma, shining and sparkling, and being a brilliant beacon of confidence that inspires others, which I think also goes with the channeled themes that I picked up that I'll talk about a little bit later in this video after I pull the cards for everybody. But I really like this. It says, every one of us is a being of light meant to shine and sparkle. And when we do that, when we keep our vibration high, it does inspire other people. And I think that that's quite beautiful for all of us to contemplate. Now, with how crazy the times are, it's really difficult for a lot of us to shine and sparkle. And that's why it's important for those of us who can shine and sparkle to try and inspire others, bring that fire to them, and help to uplift other people. And even if you are not shining and sparkling this week, this month, this year, for various reasons, just trying to make an attempt to do that a little bit each day by doing something beautiful for yourselves to uplift yourselves and try and get into that higher space. All right, our goddess of the week is Benzai 10, and she is the Japanese goddess of beauty. She's really a great symbol, especially because it goes with the crystal card of the week. Now, she is card number 6, I believe. Yes. All right, so what I found interesting about Benzai 10 was she asks us to look for the beauty that is all around us all of the time. She's card number 6. I don't know if you can see that. And maybe I can move myself. She's card number 6. And 6 talks about the opening of the heart to being receptive of things that are beautiful and loving and caring. And I think that really goes beautiful with the spessartine garnet. Also, she points out that if you are not seeing beauty in the world, if you're not seeing beautiful things around you, meaning beautiful energy, beautiful people, if you can't find the beauty even in the ugliest thing, that directly ties to a self-worth blockage, self-worth issue. I'm going to talk about that in the July themes after I do the card reading for everybody. And I will post her on Facebook and Instagram this week. I don't know what day, because I've been taking a little disconnection from social media in order for me to come back and be more centered and grounded. I can't get the messages with all the chaos out there. And I'm finding more and more especially Facebook. It's just, I'm not loving the platform. I do like Instagram because it's more of an art focused, at least, you know, what I'm looking at. It's a more nature, art, animals, flowers, beauty, and I do look for some funny things too. Speaking of Instagram, I've been getting quite the celebrity following and shout outs lately. And yeah, I am a little starstruck. Um, you know, Dr. Michael Lennox, he liked one of my posts that I had posted, and I'm like, oh, and then of course, I hope maybe some of you saw that I got a shout out from Leslie Jordan, who, I mean, I've loved him since Will and Grace. And I've watched him throughout the pandemic, where he became very popular on Instagram, unbeknownst to himself, with his, well, shit, how y'all doing? And I was loving it, absolutely loving it, that he put me on his Instagram story. And then yesterday, Christine Lottie of the show Evil on CBS, she wound up giving me a shout out on her social Instagram. And so I'm like, what? And this week I got a really great reading from someone on Instagram, Michael, who goes by the tag on Instagram, Crystal Queer, and he does every Monday, he does a live card reading on Instagram, and I got a reading from him, and I am in the process of doing a chart reading back for him. And he was fabulous. He gave me such great information. Loved it. Anyway, let's get back to Benzai 10. And her alignment message says, your ability to see beauty in your world is dimmed by a momentary lapse in self-worth. The goddess of beauty asks you whether you've been set back by a visit of perfectionism or others have withheld their support, causing you to feel small and insignificant. Whatever the circumstances, it appears that you have been hijacked by a sense of lack. And I'm also feeling that does come out in an outward show of judgment towards others. So we're going to talk about that after I do the card reading. Our alignment task is to restore our self-worth and regain our equilibrium by refusing to engage in the mind games designed to dim our light. And that is going on in the world. I mean, it has been forever, but we're probably really feeling it, and we will continue to feel that energy building throughout the year and over the next 5 years. Now's the time for positive self-inventory. The goddess Benzai 10 is here to remind you that we are bright, shiny, and beautiful beings of divine power and light. And more than ever, we are enough. And the world contains more than enough beauty for us to be, to see. This is a good place to dust off and start again. So really loving that. I am going to stop sharing my screen so I can come back and do the card reading for all Zodiac signs. No, I don't want to pause recording. I want to stop sharing because I'm going to come back to you live. There we go. I'm figuring this out as I go along. Just trying to be a little fancy. All right, so we have our cards. I'm going to read from the Colette Baron Breed deck, this one. It's not Enchanted Map. It's Wisdom of the Avalon. That's what it is. I've been doing Celtic cross spreads with her. this deck lately, and they've been coming out really good. So let me come up here. I've got my little Hygge going on. I've been really trying to incorporate Hygge, Hygge, I think it is. It's a Swedish form of comfort, cozy comfort, you know, setting warm lighting, candles, bringing in that fire and comforting energy, which we typically would do in the wintertime in the Northern Hemisphere, but the weather here has been crazy. It was 101 like 5 days ago, and it was 55 degrees last night. And yes, I had to put my heat on this weekend because of the dampness. But it looks like a beautiful day today. Really, really pretty. All right, we're going to start with Aries. And I need to make a little room. I have a bunch of fruit sitting over here on the side, so like my space is limited. All right, Aries sun signs, rising signs, and moons. You want to pay attention to your sun sign, your rising, ascendant sign, and your moon sign. And yeah, I don't know what's up with this mop, but oh, okay. I love this. So you're getting the High Priestess, the King, and Love. Oh, so without even looking at the meaning of these cards, higher intuition, who has the power over you, and I think this is about loving yourself, Aries, suns, risings, and moons, but some of you could be coming into some sort of a love relationship, whether you're the king or whether you're the high priestess or vice versa. We're going to mix that with a little love. What else am I getting from this? Well, the king does talk about a male or masculine energy, authority, male sexual energy. That would be Mars. And high priestess could be the Venus. Things pertaining to the law and justice. And high priestess is discernment, pre-science. I think it should be presence, prophecy, and vision. All right. So hopefully that resonates with the Aries suns, risings, and moons. We could do this in so many different, let me put this down. I'm trying not to get the glare. We could do this in so many combinations, but I do feel as though we are tapping into our intuition for sure, no matter if you're a man or a woman. We are taking power over ourselves. And I think that the Aries needs to incorporate more love into their own life, love for themselves. And, you know, Chiron and Aries, it is about healing our self-worth, our ego, but also, you know, like what's deep down and within us. All right, Taurus, suns, risings, and moons. Getting your cards. Let's see. What do we have? Huh. Now you saw me shuffle. I think you saw me shuffle. And maybe a Taurus rising, but I am a Leo moon. And it is all about the hair. All right, so High Priestess comes up again. The Stag. And the Wasp. All right, so immediately talking about our higher intuition, the Stag talks about quiet power, standing in our power in a quiet way, not having to boast or be overly aggressive. It's sitting back and waiting, and also it's not passive aggressive, maybe a little bit with this Wasp coming up. The Wasp talks about sometimes life stings. Sometimes we do get hurt and we have to stand in our power, tapping into our higher knowing am waiting just a minute. Like I'm feeling like the stag is saying, you know, for the Taurus suns, risings, and moons, you know, if you get triggered, you don't want to be like the bull in the china closet and rush head first with your horns. You want to sit back in that power. Sometimes saying nothing is more powerful than being physically aggressive. That's kind of what I'm getting from that. The stag talks about pride and leadership. The wasp is anger, retaliation, and jealousy. So I feel as though something could come up, and I just want you to check it before you wreck it, Taurus. That's what I'm getting there. All right, let's do a shuffle for the Geminis. I hope you're liking this. So let's see, we do have that new moon in Cancer coming up on July 9th at 18 degrees. I will talk about that in just a moment after I do these cards, because I know you all want the cards. I know you like them. Some of you, maybe you like the astrology, but I think for the most part, you like this part better. All right, let's see. Gemini, nothing's really standing out to me, Gems. Okay, we'll do this. All right, let's see what we have. Movement, the dragon, and the bard, which is perfect for Gemini, suns, risings, and moons. All right, what am I getting right away? Moving out of a sticky situation, a fiery situation, and living to tell the story. So the bard, he is the storyteller of you yesterday, of your. Let me try and get some more of that glare off. Movement is good because it means things are starting to move forward, and that does make sense because Mercury and Gemini had been stuck since June 18th, even though it went station direct. It didn't move until just a few days ago. Now it's starting to really gain momentum. Mercury will be out of its shadow on July 7th, so just a few days from now, and then he's going to blow through Gemini, go into Cancer, and even blow through that in a couple of weeks. So things are really gaining momentum as far as that is concerned. It's like I'm hearing you can remove your seatbelt and feel free to peruse around the cabin. The dragon does talk about some argumentative situations, some situations that maybe we're not feeling so good in here. And the bard is asking, what are the stories you're telling about your situation? And so, you know, are they beautiful stories? Are they shit stories? Like that really, like just complaints. So that's what I'm picking up. I'm moving away from these terrible situations and the old stories that we're telling. That's what I'm getting. Now, what the cards say is the bard, music, poetry, myth, history, enchantment, and storytelling. So I do feel with the previous eclipses and the planetary alignments that this would be a great time for Gemini suns, risings, and moons to create some music and poetry and some new stories. The dragon is power and strength. So I do like that, but I wasn't picking that up. I was getting more of a fiery anger energy, power struggles, so to speak. But with the movement card, could it be Gemini suns, risings, and moons taking back their power and relying on their strength reserves? And then, of course, the movement is kind of like a major arcana card type of thing where we're finally moving into new situations, moving out of old situations. So I like that. All right, let's shuffle for the Cancers. So that's pretty good. All right, Cancers. Let's see what we have. This one comes out, this one comes out, and this one comes out. And I hope you like that I'm pulling multiple cards. Okay, interesting. Cancer, High Priestess again. And you see I'm shuffling, you know. And then we have Lady of the Lake and Love. Very, very feminine yin energy. Definitely with this new moon in Cancer that's coming up. This goes really well. Heightened intuition is on tap. The Lady of the Lake, she is emerging from a situation. She's standing tall in her power and she's wielding her sword. She does it in the name of love, and it is for herself. And just with this new moon in Cancer, it will be in the 6th house. It talks about, to me, what is it going to take for us to feel safe? What will make you feel safe? Where will you feel safe? And it is opposing Pluto. So we're letting go of some things, but also too, we're taking a look at our daily routine, the details of our everyday life, what's getting done, what's not getting done, what are we wasting time on, which, I mean, look, yes, I can relate to that, because I feel like I just waste so much time doing nothing sometimes. Like I have great ideas, but it doesn't get executed. I kind of feel that energy with this new moon coming up. And let's see. So the Lady of the Lake, it's absolute truth, courage, self-respect, and responsibility. That is going to be a big theme for the rest of the year. I will talk about the truth and our beliefs that are coming up. But I'm just going to say, sit in your intuition, Cancer, suns, risings, and moons. You know, Cancer is ruled by the moon. It is about that innate intuition, that feminine instinct, even if you do identify as male. You know, we still, all of us have that feminine and masculine side, the yin and the yang. So that's what I'm getting. And I do feel that there could also be some love, some proposals coming in, especially with this new moon. And the Lady of the Lake wants you to take a look at your relationships as well. That's what I'm hearing. All right, Leos. Leo suns, risings, and moons. Leo moon. So if you're new to this channel, I am a Taurus rising, Gemini sun, and a Leo moon. So I like this portion for myself too. All right, so let's see what I'm getting. And I know so many Leos. All right, Leo, this was the first card I saw, second, and then the third. All right, what do I have? What do I have? I'm not even looking. Oh, the swan. That's really beautiful. So, a couple different things. The first thing I heard was transformation, ugly duckling to beautiful swan. I don't know if that's what the meaning is on the card, but that's what I was thinking. Now, swans do mate for life. And so some of us could be coming and finding a partner, which would be really nice. The perfect partner, especially if you've been waiting for a really long time. And look, High Priestess again. You see that I'm shuffling these cards. There's nothing on the back other than the original picture. So I just find that to be pretty interesting. And then we have the Earth Fairy. And then this is interesting. So we do have Mars and Venus in Leo. Sun will be moving into Leo on July 22nd. So we have a couple of weeks. But there's a lot of fire energy going on. And I think this is going to be a great time for the Leos to really ground themselves, get in touch with the earth, with nature, whatever, however that looks to you. Even if you're living in an apartment, you can get yourselves a house plant, which would also be really good to help you nurture something other than yourself. Get out and try and get your shoes off and get into the earth. So tapping into that intuition, following your higher guidance. And with that fire, Leos need a lot of oxygen, a lot of air. So I'm going to recommend some deep breathing, some, 30-second to 3-minute meditation a couple times a day, just so that you can connect in. Now, let's see what the cards say. Transformation. Oh, interesting. That is it. And I mean, I haven't really used these cards for a long time. I was just going off my intuition, trusting the psychic gifts. So compound that with the High Priestess. You're really going to be getting some deep intuitive hits, Leo, suns, risings, and moons. Now, what's interesting, this Earth Fairy, she looks like a moth that I can't remember the name of it, but I know maybe it is tulip tree moth. I did post a blog on expressionsoftheuniverse.com about these, and I keep looking out because my neighbor has tulip trees, so we do get those moths quite a bit. But she talks about physical health, grounding, and foundations, and pay attention to your health, Leo, suns, risings, and moons. I am going to do a series on some Ayurvedic healing and natural holistic nutrition, as well as some medical astrology series that I'll be announcing coming up. So stay tuned. But in the meantime, for Leo, suns, risings, and moons, with all of that fire energy, you want to think about some cooling herbs, and that would be mints, different types of mint, lemongrass, lavender, that's cooling and soothing. So even if you can't get out into nature, it's really good to take those salt baths, drink plenty of fluids, plenty of water, and breathing in some good fresh air. So take yourselves for a drive, get out into the country if you can. That's what I'm getting for the Leos. All right. Virgo, suns, risings, and moons. All right, we're halfway through. Ooh, that fell out of the deck. So that's automatically going to be your card. Didn't look at it. I don't know what it is. Maybe that means that you get an extra card, Virgo. All right, this one and this one. And I did like this one. So Virgos are going to get a bonus card. Virgo, suns, risings, and moons, which is the frog, new beginnings, clear the clutter, clear it out so that you have room for all the good new beginnings, new stuff, new energy. The frog says cleaning house, releasing emotional baggage. So Virgo, suns, risings, and moons, we're still in that, we're going to be in that healing and cleansing and clearing energy for forever, but very strongly throughout the rest of this year, even possibly really heavily into next fall of 2022. All right, so we've got that as our foundation. Burden. All right, this is, I think, going to be perfect. I feel like, you know, there's a lot of guilt. There's a lot of the need for perfectionism around the Virgo suns, risings, and moons. Let it go. Frog is telling you to let it go. And oh my God, can you believe this? The letting go card. That's just crazy. I mean, you know, we are definitely building a theme, and the new moon in Cancer is in the 6th house, traditionally ruled by Virgo. So this is really going to hit the Virgos very deeply. And then the spider. Spider talks about, what are we creating? What are you creating? What are you spinning? And it's sticking in your web. Is it good, juicy dreams, or are they nightmares? So I love that. And the spider, it says creative projects. So I do love that. But you have to clean it out, dump those burdens, let it go, and then let it go. And then your creativity will begin to flourish. Love that for the Virgo suns, risings, and moons. All right, Libras. Let's see what's going on with you guys. I really just love that reading for the Virgos because I believe that so many of you Virgo suns, risings, and moons have been in a real funk. That's the energy that I'm feeling from the Virgos that I know, and I'm just hoping that this will be a refreshing time for all of you. All right, Libras, and I'm glad that you got that extra card too. You needed that jumper. Okay, Libras, definitely this, and we'll do this one. Okay. Let's see. The Queen. And I'm going to talk about the Queen in my upcoming Palace in Cancer video. The one Palace in Gemini and Cancer. So the Queen and Prince Charles are highlighted in that video. And I do have some revelations about her in this coming next 6 or 7 months. So pay attention to that. But the Queen is talking to me about you stepping into your personal power, sitting on your throne and taking your power back, sitting upright, but not overly righteous. You know, this Queen does not judge. She just observes. Restrictions. Interesting. So this marker card is coming up about restrictions. That would definitely be Saturn energy. And so something will be holding you back or delaying things. So expect delays, Libra suns, risings, and moons. It could be controlled by a dominant feminine force in your life. So keep your eye out. You could be the one that's imposing your own restrictions on yourself, though. So it could be you. And then we have Earth Fairy again. All right. So what I'm picking up is when these delays, obstacles, restrictions show up in Libra's life, time to get grounded, time to get to the beach if you can, get out in your garden, you know, listen to what I was talking about for Leos, really getting in touch with nature, and so that you can get grounded, breathe deeply. You know, Libra is an air sign. It is all about the breath. And this is talking about your physical health. So could there be some sort of an illness that comes in for some of the Libra suns, risings, and moons that puts restrictions on yourselves and also on your money is what I'm hearing. This Queen talks about women in general, fertility, feminine power, sexuality, and friendships. So that would be the theme around around these issues. Also, too, this Earth Fairy is saying to me, a lot of times Libras could be living so up in their head that they are not in their body. And so getting in touch with what's going on in your body is going to be really important. And I would definitely be taking in some warming herbs for a Libra, which would be like cinnamon and ginseng, cardamom, fennel. You could do it through teas or putting that on your food. I, being a Gemini air sign and a lot of air elements, I put cinnamon, you could see it around the rim of my coffee cup. I don't put sugar or cream in my coffee, but I do put a dash of cinnamon in my coffee, and then that keeps that Vata energy, which is like cold and hard energy. It warms me up from the inside. It keeps me fluid, so to speak. So that's going to be good for the Libra suns, risings, and moons. Don't worry, Libra. I think you're just having an off month, and then things will start to heat up. But things could be a little off, you know. So take this time to play. Like if you're being held back from something, you know, take that off time if you can, and just enjoy yourself a little bit more. I think Libras have been pushing all last year, all through the year, just to try and maintain the normalcy. And you could be reaching the point of burnout. Okay, Scorpio suns, risings, and moons. You had a jumper, actually 2 jumpers. I think this is going to be very much needed for the Scorpio suns, risings, and moons. All right, so definitely this card, and really no other cards want to come out. I'm just going to pull one additional card. And we'll see what we have, because we had those 2 jumpers and I didn't even look at these. Don't stop recording now. All right. The dog. Interesting, Scorpio suns, risings, and moons. This talks about loyalty. Who's loyal? Who are you loyal to, and who is loyal to you? And I can't get this card. And this is the Grail Knight. The Holy Grail, Knights of the Templar. So what I'm picking up from this, in combination with the dog, is about holding that space of integrity, of protection, and you know, dog is also, I feel like, protection for those of us who are dog owners. This is a quest. This is something, I just feel like it's integrity, staying in integrity, staying loyal to yourself, staying loyal to what is authentic to you. That's what I'm getting for Scorpio suns, risings, and moons. Oh, and you are also getting the frog, and that is about cleaning up the clutter. New beginnings are on their way. It's time to clean house. This could be mental, physical, it's all got to go. Really taking a good assessment about what's going on. And High Priestess, we haven't seen her for a couple of the signs, but she's been like the anchor card for most of us for this whole reading. So tap into your intuition, definitely goes with frog. And let me just see what these cards say. So dog is loyalty, sincerity, and unconditional love. We all know that. And then the Grail Knight says romance, illusion, and seeking the sacred. All right. So there is a big love theme here. But you have to love yourselves first and foremost. And maybe some of us not us, not me. Maybe some of you Scorpio suns, risings, and moons have been under an illusion of love, or you're looking for this perfect thing of love that's in here, but doesn't really exist out in the outer world. I mean, like, I know that I've been there. Stay in your higher intuition. I'm also hearing, if that is the case, if you're looking for love, I'm hearing that it doesn't always show up the way that you're expecting. And, you know, be careful what you wish for, is also what I'm hearing. Interesting, huh? All right, Sagittarius, suns, risings, and moons. We're almost coming to the end of this video, and then I will review the new moon in Cancer. You got a jumper, Sag. And I will also talk about the July themes and the July astrology. I'll go back to my little slideshow. We'll see how that works out for all of us. I don't know how this video is going to come out because I'm doing completely different technology and recording. So we'll see. We'll see. And then if I like it, maybe I'll keep it. Let me know what you guys think. All right, this one, and definitely this one. And we do have the jumper for the Sagittarius suns, risings, and moons. Okay, and I know there are a lot of you out there that I know of. All right, your jumper card is protection. And I have been picking up the need for boundaries and protection for some of the Sagittarius suns, risings, and moons. This is just asking you to make sure, do a double check on your boundaries. This could also, I'm hearing about locking your car door, locking your house doors, making sure, you know, that the windows at ground level are also locked. Security cameras on, which I have a story about security cameras. And just, you know, making sure that you're also putting up boundaries, drawing the line in the sand, reestablishing some healthy boundaries possibly. All right, so we've got that card there. We have Lady of the Lake. This is talking about truth and power. And we have movement. And we have the Bard. All right, so what am I gathering from all of this? Okay, so the Lady of the Lake, it's absolute truth, courage, self-respect, and responsibility. So for Sagittarians, Sag, suns, risings, and moons, what I feel like with this is, you know, it is about taking responsibility for what's going on in your lives. What is your absolute truth? I'm also hearing that really you need to check in with yourselves, because I feel like there's been too much overindulgence in some things. Overindulgence could be food, it could be shopping, it could be, you know, drugs like escapism mechanisms, alcohol, just there are so many different things that we could overdo it on. So that's what I'm hearing with that. The Bard is talking about using creativity. That would be music, writing, poetry as an outlet for anything that is coming up that is maybe creating the overindulgence, so to speak, or things that are out of alignment. I feel like, oh, it's summertime and we're just going to have a party. I mean, that's great. Yes. But, you know, everything in moderation. You don't want to go from one extreme to the next. So find other creative ways, creative outlets as an, you know, way to utilize that energy. And also, it's time to tell your story. I'm hearing for at least one or two Sagittarians, suns, risings, moons. So it's time to write that write those lyrics, write that poem, write that story. So I love that movement. You're moving in the right direction. Don't forget we have that protection, but movement also talks, I feel like, moving, going somewhere else, movement, finally getting up. I don't feel like that's really going to be taking place maybe until Leo season. So in a few weeks, you will start to feel the fire. And those Sagittarian suns, risings, and moons that have felt kind of stagnant will start to, move forward from, out of, or into new situations. Out of old, into new. I like it. All right, Capricorn, suns, risings, and moons. And I put these back in various spots just so that when I do shuffle, they are mixed up and I'm hopefully picking new cards. All right, Capricorn, suns, risings, and moons. Now, there is opposition energy with Pluto and Capricorn with this new moon. And so things are coming, something's coming to an end. Could be an end of a cycle. But it is up in the 10th house. So it's something in the outer world around you. Could be career related, work related, or something you're known for. Could be changing, transforming. I feel like there's a big transformation coming for the Capricorn suns, risings, and moons. All right, no jumpers. I can already feel the disappointment. Right, this one, and this one. All right, what do we have for the Caps? High Priestess, and you see I'm shuffling really well. High Priestess, Capricorns, time for you to become ungrounded a little bit and come up into your headspace and tap into that intuition. I think that's funny because, I've been talking about the grounding, and Capricorns are often so very grounded that they're a little too practical and stable and serious that they need to lighten it up and come up into this headspace and actually, just tap into your higher intuition. The Raven, magic is surrounding you. There are omens. Pay attention to the omens, the synchronicities and the signs. You're being guided, definitely with that High Priestess. Where are you being guided to? I don't know. And then the dog is coming up, and this is talking about unconditional love, loyalty. So is that where you're being guided to? I think that would be a really great theme for the Capricorn suns, risings, and moons, tapping into that intuition, the higher magic, and maybe it's guiding you to something that you really love, someone that you can really love, someone or something that is more loyal to you than maybe your current situation. So maybe you're getting a new dog. I don't know. I doubt it. I truly doubt it, but I was just throwing that out there. Sincerity, unconditional love, loyalty. Is that for yourself or for another? The Raven, I know it's magic, transformation, synchronicity, signs and omens, magic, coincidence, synchronistic events. So with this High Priestess coming up, synchronistic events. If you hear of something, an event, or some, a party or a concert, or I don't know, anything. If you hear something coming up and it totally lights you up, you got to go. Even if it's by yourself, you got to go. There's going to be some kind of meeting, somebody who could be beneficial, even if it's the information that you get from attending that, like it's something that will be perpetuating something more. I do love that. I'll be excited to hear from the Caps and hear, if something wonderful like that comes up for you this week, this month. I feel like it's the whole energy of July for you Capricorn. So like, don't be disappointed if something fantastic doesn't happen next week, because I feel like the energy's carrying for the entire month for you guys. All right, Aquarius, suns, risings, and moons. What do we have for you? I know you're all the way at the end almost. Almost, but it's probably worth the wait. Okay. Let's pick them. First card, second card, and this one jumped out at me, so I'm going to take that. It like flew out as I was pulling the other card. All right, so we have the water fairy. And what is she speaking to me? This is about emotions. This is about tapping into your emotions, also intuition, because water is that conductive, intuitive element. The water fairy does come to us to talk about things that are under the water, things that we've pushed down. It's emotionally, things that are under a guise of illusionment, I feel. So there could be some truth and information coming out for you this week. All right, the Merlin. That is all about the magic, and I really feel like the Merlin is so Aquarian energy. The Merlin is asking for you to find the magician within you, using your magic, the magic that you know that you have. And yeah, this is dragon energy, like icy dragon energy. So this is talking about reminding me to remind you that your magic is your power. But it's also this water fairy, like your emotions are your power. Being vulnerable is actually going to be powerful for you this month, allowing yourself to be vulnerable and open. And then we have, oh, the fire dragon. So this is power and strength. Interesting, because I'm getting like this ice dragon here, and then I'm getting the fire dragon here. The ice dragon definitely being like an Aquarian. I feel though as though when I was talking about, the warming and cooling herbs, for the Aquarians, warming herbs, ginseng, cinnamon, cardamom, fennel, among others, that will be something that would be really nice for you, whether in a tea, maybe, with the weather being hot, not today, but, you could even take it in pill form, or put it on your food so that, you can get that ingested and warm things up. All right, let's see what this says. Water fairy talks about feelings and emotions. And I just feel like with her symbolism, it's like Aquarians don't like to talk about their feelings and emotions for sure. And there's like that protective barrier around them. They stuff it down. But I just feel that this Merlin is saying your vulnerability and opening up is the key to your magic. And it's alchemy, justice, and balance. Oh, and isn't that cool? So we've got that ice dragon and then the fire dragon that is more balance. But it's power and it's strength. It's also saying when you can show a side of yourself that maybe you consider to be weak, it's actually powerful and it's strengthening and it helps other people allow themselves to be that way. All right, and finally, the Pisces suns, risings, and moons, and then I'll talk about the upcoming new moon, the themes for the month, and the astrology for the month. And I know maybe I should save that for a different video because this is kind of long, and maybe you won't stick around to see it. Maybe you will. All right, this one, and this one, and actually Pisces, I really just want to do this extra one because it just looked like it needed to be read. Okay, Pisces suns, risings, and moons. Restrictions. All right, something's going to be holding you back, protecting you. Just remember, also for the Libras that got the restriction card, I believe, sometimes that delay, that restriction is a form of protection. Okay, then we have movement. So restricted from moving forward for the time being. There are delays. We have the king and we have the eagle. So the king, there's like some kind of a power struggle that could be the reason for the restricted movement. I immediately think of Saturn because that's like the king of restrictions and movement. Pay attention to your foundations. It is masculine energy, masculine sexuality. Maybe there is someone in your presence that is overly aggressive or pushing their power. Pisces, suns, risings, and moons. Take a step back with this restriction. Don't move forward yet. Do not pass go. And then the eagle always talks to me about seeing things from a higher perspective, that bigger picture. The eagle is about independence and loyalty. I can't think of the word. Maybe it's on here. Spirit, integrity, connection to the angelic realm. No, that's not what I was thinking. I just feel like it's strength and bravery, but there is a connection to the angelic realm. So with this restriction and movement, I feel like there's a form of protection coming in. So if there's a delay, especially in traveling, going somewhere you want to go to, switching jobs, switching positions, there's some sort of a delay. Just know it's an angelic protection. Yeah, and there's definitely a spirit connection here. This king, though, he kind of bothers me. The energy that I'm getting from that king. Oh, so yeah, you know what? That's what I'm saying. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Don't be aggressive and try to push forward in the movement, especially if you're being restricted. Sorry. Especially if you're being restricted because you're being held back for a reason, for protection. Oh my gosh. We're going to have to pause. Oh my gosh. I just don't even know. I really messed that up. Back to this. I think I might have hit the stop recording, stop sharing. I don't know what I did, but I forgot to talk about the new moon. What a mess. And I'm not editing this out because I don't have time for that shit. Okay, let's advance. Why won't it advance? I thought that I had. I don't know. I wanted, there we go. What is going on? Mercury is still in its shadow, so technology difficulties. All right, here is the new moon chart, July 9th. Here, East Coast, United States, 9:16 p.m. New York. We have the sun and the moon, 18 degrees, 1 second, in Cancer, in the 6th house. All right. So what I'm picking up, that 6th house, it is about our details. It's about our health. It's about taking a look at where do we feel safe? Where, excuse me, where do we not feel safe? What's our security, dreams, illusions, the clutter in our lives, the things that we need to get rid of. Definitely pay attention to stomach and breast issues. during this time because of those triggers. Opposing is Pluto. Something's transforming in our unseen world. Something is dying away, going away. But I do feel as though that's pretty interesting. The Chiron in Aries in the second house is talking about what is it that we value. So there again, I'm talking about where are we putting our focus? Where is that focus? But the 18 degrees speaks about our hearts and what we love, the decisions that we're going to be making. We're going to be making some big decisions, and it's going to lead us on a new path. We're going in a new direction after this new moon in Cancer. What else was I seeing? I think the only true aspect is the sun and the moon opposing Pluto, the need for transformation, the need for something new to come in about our daily routines, about the details in our lives. And we're looking at our schedule. This is really, we're having to organize our homes. We're having to organize like the house in which our soul is living. So that would be our self, you know, like our self, our bodies. And also too, just came in and it just left. Clearing out the clutter, organizing things, really like eliminating. And yeah, I lost that thought. Oh well, lost the thought. I'm going to end this video. All right, so I hope you liked this. If you did, please share it with your friends. Show me some love, thumbs up, comment me, because it helps with the way that YouTube and social media works. Subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos, and I will see you next week. Bye.